Hey, I wanted to make the highly requested Steamwalker guide now. This is not gospel or anything. There's no Steamwalker council telling you that you need to follow this exactly or that this is the ultimate build. This is just what I personally use. You've seen me use it in high-level maps and do pretty well, so I can definitely vouch for it. Right now, my build is currently with no premium contract, no skill overclock at all. This should make it easier for people who don't have premium to have a good guideline. Now, one thing you should remember is that there is no Second Awakening for the Steamwalker, even on the Korean version right now. So, uh, a lot of the other classes in the game do have their Second Awakening on the other versions. Even on the NMAS version, the NMAS version actually had the Second Awakenings for most of the classes currently in the game, but they don't, so they have to be a little bit more, I don't know the word for it, they have to be a little bit more picky with their skill builds. But here, there's no Second Awakening to look forward to in the near future, so you can pretty much just max everything. I did make some decisions depending on my current build with my gear. But right now, I have pretty much everything maxed out but reverse dash. I've seen some people hate on maxing reverse dash, but I actually think it's useful when you don't have many things on cooldown, but due to the way I have the character built with the gear and all the cooldown resets and everything, it's not terribly necessary. And then for the Awakenings, I pretty much just maxed out all the stuff that's either high DPS, high burst, or it's something that gets reset. Like Double Lunge Strike gets a cooldown reset, Zero Gravity Kick does, and then Earthquake Blow. So I have all those maxed out. And then everything else is pretty self-explanatory. Pretty much all your equivalent of cube moves from DFO are all very good with him. So you want to max those out as far as you can go. So you can go ahead and take a screenshot of these. I'll scroll up one more time. And you can just look at everything, but basically everything is already maxed out. Now for the imprints, I use the bottom row. However, if you're going to use this armor set, you can actually probably get by with this for fun. What this does is it makes the zero gravity kick, it's completely invincible. You have full iframes during it. So since you'll be invincible during it, and you can cast it twice in a row when you don't have the cooldown, you can actually probably dodge some attacks with it. I think this set is more fun to use because it changes how the character is played, but for pure effectiveness, everyone pretty much already agrees that it's the bottom set that is the most useful. So the bottom set lets you keep the preheat buffs when you're in maximum charge or something like that. The translation is not the best, but the cliff notes is that it just makes you do a ton more damage. So you definitely want to put this on. I heard that the imprint boxes aren't working with the Steamwalker, the ones from the 3000 concurrent player event. I don't know if that's true. I ended up opening it on my Void Monk, and like I said, it was all messed up there too. I didn't get the right imprints at all. But if you do have the option to do so, I would definitely recommend doing this. You can get one free imprint from doing the daily from Cerulean. I believe you have to do it like 4 or 5 times in a row, and she will just give you the ability to try it once. If you don't have that, maybe you can charge some money, or not charge some money, but you can use the blank tickets from Yosina and just try to get them that way. I believe it's 50 fragments for one guaranteed imprint scroll, so you would have to do it twice, assuming that you use your one select ticket on this one. Now for the armor, I am mostly done with this. It's basically just going to be a combination of using fuses to upgrade things, and then trying to get my weapon higher, but my weapon is already plus 14, so it's going to be a while before I can really make any significant changes there. A lot of people are saying it's probably not worth getting Daybreak at this time, because it's so expensive and the drop rate is low. One nice thing is that everybody is running the supplemental dungeon that drops the evolution materials, and what happens is the first mini boss, the one in the room with the control console, she drops pretty much any weapon or gear in the game. She can also drop evolution materials as well, so the prices for a lot of the armors and gears have actually gone down a little bit. Even the high demand ones like Spirit Liberation and Elemental Tuner. You have to forgive me here, I'm typing with one hand. Like, these used to be quite a bit more expensive. Right now they're a little higher than they were before. They were a little cheaper last night when I logged off. But you can actually use these to enhance a weapon in replacement of a fuse. It has to be the exact same piece of equipment, so if I wanted to do the gauntlet, I would get another Spiritual Liberation gauntlet. So that is an option if you don't want to buy fuses. Right now the Black Friday deal is on right now, so you may have a good chance to do that, but if you don't want to or you can't charge cash, this is definitely an alternative as well. Running the evolution material dungeon is actually a great way to get money, because you can probably get at least some of the evolution materials you'll need for whatever set you're going for, whether you want to just use mine or use something else. And you can also sell the ones you don't need, or you can trade them. Like, I remember I got an elemental tuner one, and I traded that one for one of the dirty cleaner sets. The elemental tuner and dirty cleaner evolution materials seem to be pretty close in value, so you may be able to exchange those if you can. If you look here, I've got a ton of these things in here. A lot of the prices of them have plummeted, but pretty much the elemental tuner and the spiritual liberation and the dirty cleaner ones are the ones that are going to get you the most money. So you may want to try to get those to complete your set and then just sell the rest. You can easily get a cool 3-4 million for the spiritual liberation and the elemental tuner ones. The dirty cleaner ones tend to be going for about 5 to 6 million. Last I checked. You cannot search for them in the auction house because the auction house of this is terribly bugged and and broken in some ways. There's just some items you just can't straight switch for or search for. So if you want to search for the dirty cleaner fragments, you go to consume. I forget which one it is. I believe it's enchanting. Actually, hold on. Sorry, I'm having a brain fart right now. Okay, it's in craft material. So you go to material, craft material, and you click search. And then you click on this here to get the most expensive price. And then you scroll down from here, and eventually you'll be able to find the cleaner's green fragments. Unfortunately, you can't search for them right now with typing until I guess they fix it. So I definitely recommend doing that if you can't get anything you specifically want. Now, in terms of the armor, I'm running a Spiritual Liberation set. Now, some of these are the high set, and some of these are the Kang set. So I'll go ahead and I'll scroll over these slowly. This one just gives his zero gravity kick another 3 levels. So since this is going to be reset on his cooldown constantly, I definitely thought this was the better choice. Like I said, I'm not like the committee leader of the Steamwalker players or anything, but it works pretty well for me. And then for the top, I have a level 25 skill plus 3, which gives his Earthquake Blow more damage. And for the bottom, I have the high set of Square Bracket, which increases the damage by 12% for 10 seconds. Apparently that stacks on yourself too. That's what I've been told anyway. I haven't actually tested it, but Square Bracket evolution materials are pretty cheap right now, so it's pretty easy to go ahead and test that out for yourself if you so desire. Now for the Spiritual Liberation gloves, I have Kang. This basically just gives you a bunch of bonuses for whatever your prime attack attribute is. Like for me, it's crushing, so I get 800 attack for 10 seconds. I've seen some people say that that is not ideal. I will have to test it. One thing that's nice is that after you pay for the evolution once, you can actually switch between them for 5 million. So if you don't like it, or you just want to switch for different purposes or something, it's not terribly expensive. Now for the shoes, I chose the high set, which resets the cooldown of level 25 and level 20 moves. So that's Earthquake Blow, or Zero Gravity and Earthquake Blow, respectively. And then for this resets the cooldown of level 35 moves. So for him, I believe it's this actually, Double Lunge Strike, which actually works very well for him too. And then for the cleaner set, I went Hyo, which just gives a damage bonus if you debuff something, and apparently lightning does debuff I am running a lightning element right now. Right now I have 214 lightning element. And this one just increases your damage by 20%. This is the Hawa version for the necklace. And then finally, the Dirty Cleaner's Ring, I chose Hyo, which just gives you a proc chance for more damage. So that's basically my build. In terms of my imprints, I put everything into double unstrike because that does the most damage and it gets cooldown reset. But you can also choose something else if you want. So let's do a quick field test before I go. I might wipe here. Sometimes the gun guys can be annoying. But it'll be a little bit more accurate representation than just one-shotting the supplemental dungeon boss. So the cooldown resets allow you to get to maximum charge very consistently. Since you have to do 10 moves in a row, even if you don't hit anything, you can just go ahead and combo the air if you want. You still have to hit 10 moves. So having a cooldown reset is actually really nice. That was pretty close. Sometimes she just gets destroyed, other times she wants to spam that right away. But yeah, there's a quick field test for you. As you can see, it works quite well. Once I have the cooldown buff and everything, I tend to be around 4 million total combat power. Right now, this is without Knight's buff, and my power core is charged, so it's pretty accurate of what my combat performance is like when I first log on to the game. It can be kind of easy to forget that you're not always at your max Knight's bonus when you log on to the game, so that's pretty much what my performance is like right when I log on. It's actually pretty effective. At this point, I just need to upgrade my gear and do rerolls. I definitely have a lot of really bad affixes on some of these that I need to fix. If anyone wants to send me scrolls, you've got my screen name right here. I'll go ahead and I'll put it in the description. But that is basically my build for now. I'll probably update this once I get a little bit more optimized, but for now, that's basically it. Hope this helps all Steamwalker players. Peace.